Welcome back to another episode of NFL News on the Boomer Bust channel. I'm your host, Terry, and today, kicking off a series that hopefully we're going to run through the rest of the season. Obviously, you know how I feel about stuff, but I want to bring in other people too. So I'm bringing in my man, Big Perm, aka Big Worm, and hopefully, he's going to join us throughout the season. During the off season, we're going to speculate, we're going to talk, and then during the season, we're going to break down stuff too as well. So, real quick, say what's up to the people.
What's going on? What's going on with y'all? How y'all living out there, man? I mean, y'all tuned into the right show because me and Terry, we about to argue. So we do. We argued all year. When I worked at ISU, now we've been all year right now.
All right, so we're gonna kick it straight off. People know me, Bears fan, all that good stuff. Tell them kind of where you from, where you root for, and how all that worked out for you.
You gonna make them hate me off the rep. All right, guys. I'm from Chicago as well. But I'm actually Bears is my third team now. The order goes Patriots. I've been a Patriots fan all my life. Y'all can say what y'all want. Yes, they were winning when I started watching. Who doesn't like winning? And then Tom Brady's the GOAT. So wherever he go, you know how people do LeBron James. Wherever, as long as Tom Brady playing football, I'm gonna root for him. So then I root for the Bucks #2. But then I still do like my hometown team. It's just Terry can attest to it that the Bears have done a lot of questionable moves in the past. So sometimes it make it hard to root for them, but they still my hometown team. So they fall at #3.
All right, so we just want to make it clear it's because of Tom Brady that you root for the Patriots.
That's why I started it, but I still root for the Patriots now. You know what I'm saying? Like Tom Brady is the GOAT. He was my favorite player growing up. And then at one point, Moss was my favorite. Well, Randy Moss is the greatest receiver of all time to me. He was my favorite receiver. So when them two hooked up, my favorite player and my favorite receiver, it was over with. It was over with. So yeah,
that's true. Yeah. So y'all know I'm I wouldn't say a Patriots fan, but I always say Patriots like my secondary when Tom was there. Like when the Bears out of it or we not playing, I'm gonna root for the Patriots because I'm a fan of the whole organization. You a fan of Belichick too?
Yeah, Belichick is the greatest coach of all time. Like you got the greatest player, greatest coach. What Belichick does is you see it in his proteges like Mike Vrabel and things like that. The way that they coaching styles is that they manipulate the game. They're gonna do what they want to do. For instance, what Belichick did last year against the Bills, game 1, threw the ball 3 times and won. You've never seen that before ever. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the things that he do. I rocks with Belichick. Yeah, he's a tight knit person, but that's what you got to do, man. This is a profession. Yeah, you can have fun, but this is a professional sport. So yes, I'm gonna treat y'all like professionals, not like we kids out here. And as you can see, these kids out here complaining about money and saying they ain't gonna play. Tom Brady and Belichick. Brady was never the highest paid player on the team, but they got 6 rings out of it. I would say it works. So yeah, I just like the way Belichick do things.
Are you giving because as soon as he left, it was the who was the real reason they won? Are you giving it a 50-50 split, or we saw Tom go get a ring?
I'm gonna give it 50-50. Just because Tom Brady 20 years over there. So that's 20 years of coaching. That's 20 years of maturing him, making them the player he is. And there's a lot of players out there today that tell you about a certain coach that made them who they is and challenged them that way. And I believe that's what Belichick did. The fact that Belichick had a rookie quarterback and made it to the playoffs, I mean, that goes to show that, yeah, he got it. So I'm going to give it a 50-50 without one or the other. There's no 6 rings. There might be 1 or 2 somewhere. There's no 6 without one or the other.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I still think Belichick one of the best coaches too. So you're not gonna hear us argue about Tom Brady and
this. Yeah, that's the only thing we agree on.
This ain't skipping Shannon or nothing. So yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I'll probably give it more like a 60-40 to Tom, just because it not only I wouldn't say it's a quarterback league throughout the time he played, but it's more than just his quarterback play. Like you said, it's the pay cuts, it's the leadership, man. Everybody know, for whatever reason, Belichick ruled with an iron fist. And if you can't treat the star player that way, you ain't treating other star players that way. So the way that Tom Brady allowed himself to, get coached hard, that's also something that, added to the team. So It's a lot, I think, that goes on Tom Brady, but let's not act like, Belichick. The thing I'll say, though, is that with coaching, because I coach,
Right.
it's always hard when people put everything on the head coach, just like when they do it on the quarterback. You don't know what goes on. And I tell people all the time, like, we have a play some weeks that somebody might score on that the JV coach might have mentioned. Like, hey, coach, I thought that play was good. Now it's up to the head coach to put it in motion and use it, but it don't always come from one coach. It's a whole team effort. So, but Belichick, they got to make the decision. So I got to give him points for that.
Facts. It's going to be interesting to see how they do this year without Josh McDaniels and Brady. I do think not to talk about the Patriots too much because I know we're talking about Belichick and Brady, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if Mac Jones had a sophomore slump, and that's what people are going to call it because losing our offensive coordinator, we really didn't make too much noise this offseason. I wouldn't be surprised if he have a sophomore slump when Jets got players, even though the Jets is Jets suck. They suck. Dolphins made moves. Bills made moves. So, and we just stayed there stagnant. So I wouldn't be surprised. So I hope that doesn't tarnish I told you it was always Brady. It's just like, no, this offseason. Last year they spent a lot of money. This year they didn't do a dang on thing. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of the offseason, we're going to spend most of the time going over kind of our top 3 favorite moves of the offseason. And this has been a crazy offseason. Like, honestly, until we got ready to talk about this, I kind of forgot because, stuff has died down. It's July. And but looking back, we was moving and shaking this year. So
it was busting.
I think part of that is the Rams and F these picks mentality because, you know how it is. It's a copycat league. The Rams won. So now everybody F these picks. And it didn't mean as much as it used to because you never see first-round picks getting traded like this. Now, people giving them up.
3-4 of them in a row.
But, I don't know how I feel about that personally because you know who I think about, even though it's not basketball or football? I think about the Raptors. The Raptors ain't never going to win no championship again. So, but are you happy with that you had a lightning in the bottle, you all in one year, or would you rather have be the Buffalo Bills? You never won it, but you went 4 straight times. And of course, in hindsight, you like, dang, well, we weren't going to win anyway, but I'd rather try.
I mean, at that point, I'd rather go all in depending on your roster. Like the Rams felt it. That golf wasn't it. They felt they had the talent at receiver, talent at running back, defense, everybody know. Even though statistically they give up a lot of points. I'm not going to lie. The Rams give up a lot of points, but they got big name players on defense. So they're going to make big plays when they need to tackle. So they had it. They just felt like they was missing a quarterback. So at that move, I don't mind going all in. So I think it depends on your team. Like if the Jets, it would be stupid for the Jets to go all in. Like what are you going all in for? There's 1 or 2 players that's going to make your team Super Bowl contenders. But the Rams felt that they was there. Like they just felt like it. So I'm not mad at it. Obviously it worked out. Obviously but it just depends on the situation.
Yeah.
I can see a double team like the Browns. The Browns just did with Deshaun Watson. After allegations or whatnot, we'll see where the chips fall. But if he plays, that's an upgrade at the quarterback position. And they felt like Baker was holding them back. So I'm not mad at it if he plays.
Yeah. All right. So you want me to go first or you want to go first?
You go first. I say let's go 3 up. Let's not go number 1.
Yep. I was on the same way. All right. Number 3, speaking of the Rams and the Super Bowl, I'm going to the Bengals, getting Lyle Collins at right tackle. I still think he got a lot of juice left. First of all, let's go back because people they don't. If you're not a draft person like me, you don't respect this. Lyle Collins went undrafted. This was a top 10 player. Obviously some terrible allegations. Actually, I can't remember. I think it was murder. It was murder or rape. It was terrible. I get it. But there was no real evidence or nothing. So I guess, I don't know, if you a team I don't know. Me, 7th round, I'll be like,
I mean, but at the same time, you didn't draft him. Somebody picked him right up. It ain't like he waited a month and he
you're
got
not
picked.
fighting nobody if you draft them in off season or a free agency. You know, you got to do that. But anyway, so appreciate that he became an All Pro like we thought he would. Rock solid on one of the best O lines. Now he has injuries, a little bit of immaturity, but keep his head down for the most part. And again, injuries recently, that always sticks in your mind a little bit. So I get Dallas kind of moving on, and Dallas in a weird spot anyway. Point blank period. The Bengals somehow almost won the Super Bowl with that line that was just, it was rough. Now they got some players that I like coming out of the draft, but they too young. A lot of them is young. They're not ready, especially going up against the Rams. So you heard it throughout the whole the O-line. Y'all gonna get Joe Burrow killed. He gonna be Andrew Luck 2.0, all that. So they hit the O-line hard. They got a number of signings, but Lyle Collins, I think, is the centerpiece. Like, if he's healthy, he's not only going to be rock solid, but I think he's going to be, I wouldn't say a leader, but just a good dude on the O-line to bring that nastiness. So, I mean, I don't think the O-line is top 10, but even if you get Joe Burrow number 15 O-line.
What he got sacked 9 times against the Titans? One?
If you had
like that,
the 15th ranked line last year, they might have messed around and won. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and say that's my number 3 overall.
All right, we Gucci. Okay, that's your number 3. I like it because, like you said, at the end of the day, the Bengals almost won the Super Bowl. Even if you watch that last play that Aaron Donald sacked him, Jalen Ramsey failed on a man-to-man coverage against Jamar Chase. That's touchdown. That's game.
Yep.
Wide open. So you're right. I do like that. But my number 3 is, just told you I root for the Bucks. So I'm going to go with that Russell Gage signing. It was a combo, Russell Gage and Shaq Mason. Because the Bucks did lose Ali Marpet, right? To what you just said, the Bengals. So they lost offensive lineman and then got Shaq Mason, which Shaq Mason used to play with Brady back in Patriot days. So we're good there. And then a Russell Gage signing. A lot of people don't want to really watch the Falcons because they was terrible. But he was one of their highlights when Calvin Ridley was out. He was basically their number 1 receiver. So we have a number 1 receiver, number 2, number 1 receiver at our number 3. I watched the kid play. He made some great catches, great routes. And like I said, he's going to be the number 3. But that signing is more important because Chris Godwin is coming off of injury. So he just ACL, MCL, something like that. So it's like he might not come back 100% day 1. So to sign Russell Gage, I think was huge for the Bucks and Brady. All Brady needed some weapons, especially since Gronk is gone. So I think Russell Gage is going to fit in nicely. I would say he's a sleeper fantasy pick for like the first 4 to 5 weeks because of the Chris Godwin. So I definitely like that one because of my team. I was scared, not scared, but with only Mike Evans because Antonio Brown did what Antonio Brown do. And then, like I said, Chris Godwin hurt. So all you got is Mike Evans. You're going to need some help out there. So I like it. I like Russell Gage a lot. Even though I think they got the easiest road to win a division.
True. Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I mean, you got, the Falcons that was low-key one of the most struggling teams, even though they won the number 1 pick. But Russell Gage, like you said, and Cordell Patterson were 2 pretty much trying to carry that offense, trying to do something with it. And you know how a lot of people, like you said, fantasy, a lot of people gauge people off fantasy points. But now, at least with us in Illinois, I gauge stuff off betting too. So you start seeing Russell Gage, he was a nice person to bet on. But overall, if you watch the tape too, this just got a guy that's, a veteran, a grinder. And I think it says something to be able to push through that type of team and perform. So if you get with Tom and that expectations, I think he could show out. This ain't part of it, but I wonder what's going to happen with the Bucks because Tom clearly was trying to dip. So I'm curious what's going to happen with them, but I think Russell will help.
I think he, like I said, they got the easiest, well, not the easiest division, but one of the easiest. The Saints Alvin Kamara is up in the air. Jameis, even though their receiving core is nice now, I'm not gonna lie, I do like their receiving core, especially if Michael Thomas play again. But Saints is the only real threat that they have in that division right now. So I'm not too worried about them winning the division. I will. My division winners, they're gonna be in it. I'm talking about betting. We bet on division winners. I'm gonna put them in, obviously.
All right, so number 2, I'm gonna go to one of the blockbuster trades of many that we had.
I'll
But
say, man, you better not say my number 2.
I don't know actually, but maybe it is. But I'm gonna go with Russ Wilson to Denver Broncos.
Okay.
Because yeah, we had a lot of crazy trades, but it's hard to ignore that. I mean, you talk about everybody talking about KD getting traded right now. Russ Wilson, to me, bigger. Like he in more of his prime than KD is, and so the quarterback like that, who is just clean off the field, clean on the field, had some injuries this past year, but not an injury prone dude. Has a Super Bowl on his shelf, like you don't get that often. So they gave up a little haul for him, but I think it was clear he was trying to leave. Russ never said nothing, but Russ don't have no noise around him if it ain't real, I don't think. But his agent actually tweeted out last year the teams Russ didn't request the trade, but if he did, these are the teams that he would like to go to. And so we knew that something was about to happen. And then they had the season they had where they really didn't make no noise, despite having some pieces on defense or whatever. But overall, it just didn't come together. And it was time for them to move on. Denver's interesting. It's not a team that I paid too much attention to lately. They just, they haven't been doing much. But you look at the defense, you really see not only Surtain probably going to be a top 5 corner next year, if not was one this year. And so he's coming into his second year. You lose Von Miller, but you got some pieces. Obviously, with the offense, you've been putting together solid receivers, but you just haven't had the quarterback to handle that. So, yeah, Russ Wilson going there, that's going to be kind of crazy. I mean, you put him with those weapons, not only his quarterbacking ability, but also his ability to lead the offense and get those receivers up to a higher level, higher standard, and the whole team up to a higher standard. Now you got a rookie head coach, and he was Aaron Rodgers' OC, and we never know how that worked out. But I just think that's a crazy trade, and that automatically puts Denver in competition, even though they're in a tough division.
So I agree with you on that one. I do like that. It's not one of my favorites, but I like it because I consider that a prove it now. Like you said, he didn't make the noise, but it's like he was, but not directly. So it's like you complaining about a situation, you out of that situation, now prove it. Kind of what OBJ did. OBJ father made the tape saying that he was my son ain't washed, yada yada yada. I feel the same way with Russell Wilson. You're in a better situation. Now I did pay attention once again, going back to fantasy, to the Denver Broncos because I had Javonte Williams as one of my fantasy backs, and dude is a stud. So he has a great running back.
And Melvin Gordon.
They re-signed Melvin Gordon too. So they got a 2-headed monster, which that's the new way of the league. You need 2 running backs. It is sorry for running backs all out there. Like if you're not a Christian McCaffrey or somebody or Derrick Henry at that level, you're not getting paid no more because it's 2-headed monster. That's just what it is. But so you got the great running game. You got good young receivers, which he just had, and he showed he can throw the ball downfield to DK and Tyler Lockett. And they not too far behind. You know what I'm saying? DK is DK, but a healthy Jerry Jeudy and a Cortland and Tim Patrick, like they got a 3 wide receiver set. So I like that the defense is straight, but I like the move because it's a prove it. So it's like you did all that complaining. Now you're in a tougher division. You're in a tougher situation. You are not the best quarterback in your division right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now you just got to shut up and prove it. You got what you wanted. You got out. Now show me something.
Yeah.
Something. So I do like that move. I 100% like that move. I think it's time for, you know what I'm saying, Russell Wilson to go back to Super Bowl days, but it's going to be tough playing Patrick Mahomes twice, Derek Carr, Devontae Adams them twice, and the Chargers twice. Like, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
My number 2 is Tyreek Hill. Another blockbuster trade. And it's not the Tyreek Hill. If anybody know me, all my Facebook people, anybody that I argue with, they know me. Tua sucks. I'm just gonna flat out say it.
I'm not a Tua fan either coming out, and I haven't liked what he's done, but I'm not. I haven't seen enough to write him off yet.
But this is why I chose this trade as my favorite. I think it's going to prove it. I think it's going to prove it. And his arm is not. He's never been considered a strong arm guy.
True.
They've never been considered that. But you have the fastest receiver core in Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. There's no two receivers that can keep up with them. So you have two of the fastest receivers in the NFL. Tyreek Hill was amazing, and he showed he just wasn't speed. I used to always argue that Tyreek Hill wasn't a top 5 receiver because it was just speed, but I seen him go up and get it. I seen him run away from people. I seen some decent routes. Obviously, he ain't blocking nobody, but I've seen him more than just speed. So Tyreek Hill, I would say, is definitely a top 10 receiver. They went and got your boy Armstead, right, from the Saints. If I'm not mistaken.
The Dolphins, yeah.
Yeah, the Dolphins when they got him. So it's like Tyreek Hill and Armstead, Tua, you got what you need right now to do better. I ain't gonna say he's gonna jump to the top 10 quarterbacks, but I need to see something. I haven't seen something from Tua, so this is one of my favorite picks because I think it's either gonna prove me right or prove me wrong about Tua. And I'm okay with it being proven wrong. I'm okay with if Tua come out and ball and he in the offensive player of the year or MVP conversation, I would be happy because I'm proven wrong. But I just don't see it happening. I think Tyreek Hill gonna be mad. Well, he got a Super Bowl ring, he got his money, so he might not be mad, but who wants to leave Patrick Mahomes? That's one thing I don't get.
Yes, he did.
I'm saying, like, who would want to leave the best quarterback in the league right now? I'm just gonna say it. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback. He's my best quarterback in the league. Josh Allen is a close second, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know. As far as I'm looking at the perspective of the Dolphins, I don't love the trade. Just because I don't think Tua gonna make it work. Like, so I get from your perspective, you being selfish.
Yeah, I'm being selfish. You said you didn't say best. You said favorite.
Yeah. So like when I think of the favorite, I'm thinking of the team's aspect. But like, yeah, I mean, if the man is diva enough to tell you F Pat Mahomes, F Travis Kelce, all that, y'all don't even giving me the ball. How come y'all don't give me the ball? Bro, I don't even have to look at the stats to know he one of the most productive receivers over the last 3 years. One of the most targeted, probably. And you complaining you not getting the ball? Like, seriously? So if you diva enough to do that, what's gonna happen on that underthrow when when that bad boy get picked off 2 times in a game? Like,
and you got a DK Hawk somebody to try to stop a touchdown. Like
exactly. I don't see it working out, but I mean, because I don't have the trade in front of me, but I know they gave up like a good amount of picks. So
we were just talking about they basically went all in on one player. Dolphins, 2 players because they got Armstead. You guys are not 2 players away from Super Bowl. You're not even the best team in your division.
Exactly.
You might be the 3rd best team.
You throw. You throw that on top, like not only the Tua thing, but you not a Tyreek Hill away from winning. Nobody's a receiver away from winning. Well, I don't know. The Eagles did kind of flip the script when they got T.O., but
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's teams that can get that's you can't say that. That's
teams. A different debate. That's a different debate. But
that's
But the Dolphins ain't one of them, and so
Dolphins is nowhere near one of them. They're a quarter and Dolphins. Sorry. Actually, man, this is your podcast. You don't care. I kind of want the Dolphins to fail for firing Brian Forbes. I think he was a great head coach. Even players came out and said, like, I don't get this. What y'all doing to my coach? Like, so I kind of want y'all to fail. I'm not going to lie. So I'm happy y'all gave away y'all future. Y'all finna Brooklyn net it. Gave up y'all future.
I mean,
yeah. Look at the Celtics.
You got that whole situation going on, which messed up your boy Tom being in South Beach, man, if you believe the rumors. But
what?
You hear that? Tom Brady was supposed to go to the Dolphins, come own the player.
Yeah.
owner player, but Brian Flores blew up the spot, so they was like, oh, we gotta clean house first.
I'm okay with that. I mean, if he, I don't see Brady doing that just because him playing the Patriots twice a year just doesn't. I don't know. As a person, I wouldn't want to play. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like the Patriots traded him. He wanted to leave. Now, if you got traded, yeah, it's like, all right, it's busting. Like Baker Mayfield, week 1, I'm taking Baker Mayfield 300 yards, 4 picks.
All right, bro. So but yeah, that was definitely a blockbuster trade. It's definitely gonna take away Tua's excuses, like you said. They building in the O-line, they building in the receiving core. Like, even if he get hurt, I don't want to hear it. Like, we gave this man a chance. First of all, let me take my glasses off. I know y'all can't see. Because I sat here with these Tua defenders. In the middle of him getting benched in the 4th quarter every game. I'm like,
every game.
You're not telling me this dude is any type of – I've never seen this. I've never seen no top first-round pick get benched every 4th quarter for Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Because he can't throw the ball down the field. Your own coach didn't believe that you could drive your team down the field to score. And I remember a game vividly. Ryan Fitzpatrick did it, and then they took him out to put Tua into the goal line, and he still didn't score. It was like, come on.
So yeah,
because he's a dual threat. He ain't no dual threat. He can't throw. He's
and I don't even know how good of a runner he is. But anyway, like, I'm with you. I'm not a Tua fan. I don't think it's gonna work, but they definitely put the pieces in place for him not to, complain.
Exactly.
Right. So going back to your favorite team, this kind of involves them. My number 1 is J.C. Jackson going to the Chargers. That is going to be a key move. I'm calling it now. Now, all the Bears fans and whatnot, y'all know how I feel about Khalil Mack. The rest of the league over here doing backflips about that. First of all, him and Bosa.
It's deadly.
Like,
hey, Terry, that's deadly.
Bro, I love Bosa, but we talking about injuries, him and Bosa. All right. But anyway, if they do stay healthy, J.C. Jackson is going to change the whole complexion of that defense. Like, and J.C. is still somehow underrated. Somehow, as the Patriot, even though that's the Patriots, that's their thing. But
they don't.
I just think it's a lot of people still underrate what J.C. Jackson is. And so, obviously, he hasn't done it outside of the Patriots, so there's that room for him to prove it. But if he's the man-to-man guy I think he is, like, pass rush and pass coverage go hand in hand. People got to realize that. So, for whatever Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack bring to it, JC's just going to make it that much better. So, Derwin James is fully healthy, man. It's just, man.
Scary defense. That's a scary defense, Terry. I agree with you on that 100%.
Yeah. So, they just going to be able to do so much more with a man-to-man guy like that. And, if they just put him on the best receiver and making life tough for a quarterback-heavy division, that's going to be key. That's going to be real key. Now, Herbert has to step up. As much firepower as they got, they often sputter sometimes, and, Herbert just going to have to stay consistent and, put the ball in the end zone. So,
I think I love that pick. I love J.C. Jackson. I watched every game, obviously. Shutdown corner. For some reason, the Patriots do that. They had Gilly. Remember, Gilly Lock was the first corner to win Defensive Player of the Year in forever. Yep. So Gilly Lock did it. J.C. Jackson could have did it if the numbers was there, but his name on Instagram is Mr. INT. He gets the picks. That's what he do. I think he's great over there. I think the Chargers' problem is they don't have a running game. I love Austin Eckler. They don't have a running game. They don't have no type of running game. So, but I do.
Eckler a beast though.
Yeah, he a beast. Fantasy beast. Betting beast. But I do think that they're going to have a top 5 defense with the addition. I know you don't like Khalil, but I think what's going to blow you is Khalil Mack he had 1.5 good years of the Bears. I think he's going to get rejuvenated and go crazy just because he was the one getting double teamed and all that. But now you ain't no how you going to double team Khalil Mack with Joey Bosa on the other side? There's that if they defensive coordinator is any type of smarts, there's no way that defense ain't top 5. Well, actually, there is a way because they got to play Patrick Mahomes twice, Derek Carr twice, Russell Wilson twice. So
yeah, that's a big way.
They got the talent.
They definitely got the talent, and I mean, I'm fine with Khalil being good. Like as long as he ain't on our team, sucking up our money, not giving us no production, I don't care. But I will feel a little type of way if he go crazy, but we'll see. I mean, I like the Chargers. I like their team. I like their players. So I'm excited to see if it all works out. But yeah, JC, yeah, I think that may it. I can't say a favorite though, but because it's so much talent in AFC West, but it definitely keeps them neck and neck with the other teams.
And last thing on that, I want to go to one of their practices to see Keenan Allen and JC.
Yeah.
Head to head. Iron sharpens iron.
Master.
Iron sharpens iron. I think that's gonna make JC even better. Like he's finna learn. Like a lot of people don't realize Keenan Allen's footwork is stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid, but I guess because he ain't flashy, but that man's he produce every year. Him and Mike Evans, I put them in the same bracket. Like they're not flashy, but they produce every year. They're probably the most consistent receivers out there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be nasty.
Speaking of receivers, my number one.
Another one.
But my number one, I think you know where I'm going with this because I got this team, even though they're in the same division, we talking about tough division. I wouldn't be surprised if that Devontae Adams trade, plus them getting Chandler Jones on the other end, make Derek Carr in the Offensive Player of the Year / MVP conversation. I think that trade put them over the top. You got to remember that Derek Carr is a 4,000 to 5,000 yard passer every year. He always has the yards. They just didn't necessarily have the wins, and he had a couple interceptions and fumbles and things like that held him back from being in those conversations. But he's always been productive. He's always had the offensive yards. But you get a man like Devontae Adams paired with Darren Waller in the red zone. Oh, my God. That's scary. Then they got a coach who I think is an offensive guru. Terry says stop throwing that phrase around, but I've seen Josh McDaniels work. He's their new head coach. So you give Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, who's a solid running back. They didn't extend him for a reason because they don't want to pay him top dollar. I told you, running backs, it's two-headed monsters. Y'all not getting paid that much. They didn't want to extend him for that, but he's going to play. You have Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller. I think that took their team over the top, especially with the Chiefs losing Tyreek Hill and replacing him with Juju Smith and Marquez Valquez, whatever the hell you say his name. Valquez Scanley.
Yeah.
I think their offense is going to take a step back, even though they even saying, like, fantasy tip, they even saying MVS is going to be their number one receiver over Juju. That's what they saying coming out of training camp right now. But I see Derek Carr in that MVP conversation this year because they're gonna keep games closer with Chandler Jones and Max Crosby. That's damn near scarier than Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. Those two coming off the edge. I like that. Like that's nasty. That's nasty. And Jonathan Abrams can get his stuff together. I think they're gonna be good there. I think the defense is gonna be good enough to keep them in enough wins with that offense. And I like Devontae Adams. This is the same thing we was talking about with Belichick and Brady. Is it Rodgers or is it Adams? Who Rodgers have been doing? We know who Rodgers is, but I think Adams is doing this to show like, no, everybody, man. Devontae Adams had Chad Ochocinco crying because of how good his routes was. This man is going to get open.
Yeah.
Now on the flip side, he got to play J.C. Jackson twice a year, which is going to be. I love those matchups. I love them. Got to Patrick Surtain. You got to go against J.C. Jackson. Like, they got some corners over there. Chiefs ain't really got nobody. They ain't worried about the Chiefs. They got no corners.
No, they don't. You know what? I didn't think about that, but yeah, I mean, look, for me, to be honest with y'all, I lean towards I don't know with Devontae Adams. Like, Brett Favre recently came out saying he think he going to drop off a little bit. Now, I'm with you. The man gonna get open. Like Aaron Rodgers didn't run routes for him. So he gonna get open. But is he still gonna be that same caliber? I don't know. Because part of that depends on Carr. And we played in college, nigga. That was like 8 years ago. Like
they best friends, so you don't know what they do in the summer to like.
Yeah, but it ain't the same as being in the game. So I think it's a good chance. If I had to put a number on it, I would say I'm 80% confident. I'm not 100% confident.
And I do want people to understand, like, yes, his numbers might fall a little bit, but that's because they got more weapons over there. Darren Waller is a beast. Hunter Renfrow in the red zone, that look, whatever wiggle route he be running in the end zone, everybody know what's coming. He still get open. Like, they have weapons over there. More weapons than what they had over. Well, okay, the running game was better over there with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Yeah. But even, like, people who catching the ball wise, I say Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow is better than Robert Tonyan and who was Randall Cobb.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not really going to judge it off numbers. I'm more so going to look at what he's doing, too. So, it's going to be – well, I wouldn't say it's tough. He's going to get open. But is he still, in contested situations? Is he still with the yak? And, all that stuff, which he should be able to do. I just, you don't know because people get too invested in players and don't realize some of them are system players.
Yep.
And not to say Devontae Adams is a system, but having Aaron Rodgers and not having Aaron Rodgers are two different things.
Two different things. That's why I said I think Derek Carr is one of those people that was perfect because, like I say, he's always been 4,000 yard receiver. 4,000 yard quarterback. But he had Amari Cooper before Amari Cooper broke out. He had who else? Like he had Zay Jones last year. Like who he really had, but he's throwing at 4,000 yards a year. So I think with this pick right here, and like I said, I'm doing a combo. That one and the Chandler Jones bolsters their defense and bolsters their they went up. Like they definitely went up in the toughest division in the NFL. Yeah. And that division is the toughest division in the NFL. No debate. You can't debate that. What's the AFC West?
Yeah. What was your reaction when you saw you got traded? Because I know we probably text, but I'm trying to remember. I almost fell out my seat. I was just like.
I was very, very shocked at first because I know you more the money guy. Like you said, Aaron Rodgers took all that money on the back end. He still could have got paid. Aaron Rodgers thought he only came back because he thought Devontae Adams was coming back. I've heard two different stories. He said that, but then he said he also talked to Devontae Adams, and Devontae Adams said I was leaving regardless. You coming back or not, I'm gone. Like, I'm leaving. And what Devontae Adams said, he said he said in an interview, I'm not going to commit long-term when Aaron Rodgers is going to leave next 2 years. Like, why would I commit the rest of my career here? Basically throwing shade at whoever they back. What's his backup name?
Jordan Love. Ain't no shade. Jordan Love actually played and was horrible. So.
Well, yeah. He just said I'm not committing my career here when him and Derek Carr is the same age, basically. They best friends. Derek Carr is not a terrible quarterback. Derek Carr top 10. I say you have to listen, but he top 10.
Let me throw this in here, because not a lot of people watch it. I get it. Even though people say they like stats, they don't really like stats. So I think this is my second, maybe third year I do a stats deep dive with the top 10 quarterbacks by QB rating. And then I take out all their non-playoff games. So I only look at stats from playoff games. Derek Carr has been in there in a lot of different categories. Like, he's been the top in a lot of categories against competition. So
I kind of don't want you to post this until I bet on Derek Carr for MVP offensive player here, because I don't think the FanDuel people is looking at it. And the odds, I know it's going to be crazy. I know it's going to be.
Oh, no, you should be good. Ain't nobody betting on Derek Carr.
I'm going to take it for offensive player. I'm going to do one for MVP, but I'm going to take offensive player. I see him throwing up, especially with an extra game, 5,000 yards, easy, 40 pounds. Like, I see that.
But yeah, you was right, because that what we know for a fact is the Packers offer him more money. We know that. Mm-hmm. So all that, because immediately Aaron Rodgers took all the money, and that's not true. He made a choice to leave Green Bay. So
yes, that's why Green Bay fans hate him.
That's what really shocked me, because I knew, like you said, I knew they had the money to keep him. So I just didn't know he felt that strongly about, being somewhere else. Now, I'm gonna throw this shout out for no reason at all, but shout out to the new Madden because I played the beta. They added, so one of the big things they added in the free agency is player motivation. And so
wow.
that affect, like, if you have nothing a player wants, you basically can't sign them unless you give them like way more money than they actually deserve. And so they have different things like playing in their hometown or being close to home. And it's kind of cool. So like if your hometown is Detroit and the Bears want to sign you, you'll still be like somewhat up because
It's close.
you're close. Yeah.
Right.
So they do
That's
that.
decent. That's decent.
Want to play for a historical franchise, want to make the most money, whatever. They got different factors. So, and that played out in real life. That man, first of all, Tyreek said, "I want the money. I'm leaving," and then Devontae said, "I want to go back to the crib with my homie. I'm leaving. I don't care what y'all offer me." So, it's real. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up with a little this or that. We're gonna see. I don't know. I think it's cool. We'll see if we keep doing it throughout the year. All right, so I'm gonna just give you 2 players. Just pretend you got a blank roster and you gotta add them to your team, one or the other.
Okay, I got you.
So we got Indianapolis Colts, Darius Leonard, and then we got Pittsburgh Steelers, Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Who do I want on my team?
Yeah, who would you add? Who would you take between those 2?
Darius Leonard.
Okay.
I think a field general like him is more impactful, even though that's a great question because what Fitzpatrick did to that Steelers defense is stupid. We talking about adding one player. When he got traded to that defense went top 5, hands down. And it wasn't like, oh, they just played different. No, he came in. If he wasn't picking it, he was swatting the ball away or making big tackles. So he's a great player. No shade at him, but I'm taking Darius Leonard because that's Mr. Turnover. We got Mr. INT and JC Jackson, but Darius Leonard, he get picks, he punches the ball out. He's in it like he's top in tackles every year. So I'm gonna go with Darius.
Okay. I'm kind of surprised you went that route, but I do think it's a close one. You know, as far as the traditional linebacker, we know that's not as like sexy anymore as it used to be. But Darius don't really play traditional. They move him around. You know, he blitzes. He got plus blitz. He got plus, like you said, stripping the ball, sacking, interceptions. So he ain't the typical linebacker, so he give you a lot more.
Yeah.
Minkah, though, that's a Swiss Army knife, though. I mean, he got length, speed. You can put him on the tight end, man, oh man. You can keep him over the middle of the field. The question is, how much does TJ Watt help out? His coverage now.
Not only TJ Watt, they got Cam Hayward there too. He said line.
So you gotta assume that helps. And yeah, I think if I'm looking positionally, free safety is probably more important to me than middle linebacker in this day and age. And since their caliber is similar, I probably lean towards Minkah. Probably.
And I could see that too, just because like there's more quality linebackers out there than there are quality free safety. So I could see that. I could see that. But Darius Leonard because the Colts got Gilly Lock. They got Gilly Lock and Kenny Moore as their cornerbacks. They finna stupid.
Gilly Lock. We'll see, man. If he healthy, maybe he might come back.
Well, Gilly Lock was healthy all year last year. He just didn't want to pay for the Patriots because they weren't finna pay him. He's like, I just won Defensive Player of the Year 2 years ago. Y'all ain't gonna pay me. I won y'all the Super Bowl. He got that pick. He should have won, and he should have won Super Bowl MVP. But it is what it is. I like you, Gilly.
All right, though. So that's it for us. My first little collab. Like I said, hopefully we'll continue throughout. We definitely gonna do some more over the summer and then throughout the season. So y'all already know me, but where can they find you at, Perm?
Hey, y'all can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Cooking and Sipping. Terry gonna tag it in there because it's spelled different. It's cooking with the G, sipping without it. So it's COOKING, the letter N, SIPPIN.
Yep. Cooking and sipping. Check them out. Be out there drinking and cooking on the grill.
I'm actually doing it right now. Y'all will see the. So go ahead and follow me because y'all will see the videos coming out soon.
All right, so I appreciate Perm stopping by, and yeah. So if y'all got any other specific topics y'all want, always let me know. But we're gonna be talking football. So, all right, till next time. Thank y'all for listening.
Appreciate you, Terry.